This is NDTV. And you're watching Ndtv-Hindu.
We've passed a good 60 years of independence, spend lump sum crores for the Commonwealth Games and send our men and women to space and beyond. While we have an Indra Nooyi and an Arundhati Roy being among the top few inspiring women in the Forbes list, the fact is that back in the villages of our country, in fact our very own state, that for a young woman to rise above the others, it is still a dream. Ms. Krishnaveni, a crusader working with many such women in the heart of Tamil Nadu's villages, joins me on the show tonight and tells us what it takes to make that dream come true. Meanwhile, claiming rights for a dignified treatment and respect for a tall leader are the cubs of the Congress party really who've taken out to the streets today, who are not too happy after an instance triggered many protests all across the state. Mr. James Prakash, member with the Tamil Nadu Youth Congress, and our reporter Shabir Ahmed joins me on that story later tonight. Good evening, I'm Evelyn Matthew. This is Headlines now on NDTV Hindu. Let's take a look at our top stories. A ravaged statue of Rajiv Gandhi sends angry protesters to the streets. A section of Congress workers allege the VCK's hand.
I strongly condemn this. My blood is boiling.
The man behind the whiff of justice for parents, the new fee structure at schools, Justice Govindarajan quits from his post. Violence breaks out between two gangs right in the heart of Mylapore. 5 are arrested, but it gives the residents the jitters. 34 days of protest by NLC workers gather support from their brethren at the company. Permanent employees pledge to join in protest. Ahead of the Asian Games, the cagers from Chennai get an extra bounce in their dribble and shots from the good old NBA. Is Collywood taking the shortcut to fame? The dearth of good scripts pushes producers to cash in on remakes. And as Junior Aragiri gets set to say I do, a special invitation goes to the big stars of the Tamil film. Here's what's making news in the rest of the country. NDTV accesses documents where Games Village developer Emar claims the DDA took 200 days instead of a week to approve layouts. Coal-bound Bihar comes under Naxal attack ahead of the second phase. 6 policemen are killed in a landmine attack. 3 interlocutors appointed for Jammu and Kashmir make their visit to the valley for the first time today, but hardliners boycott the meeting. WikiLeaks release Iraq war logs that show a grim portrait of the civilian deaths. On to our top story today. The quarrel over the glory of statues and politics in our state is back, but this time a shameful act in Ashoknagar has come into the limelight when a garland of slippers were found hanging around a statue of former Prime Minister Rajiv Gandhi. The city reeled under a barrage of protests within the Youth Congress workers taking into the streets. NDTV Hindu brings you the agitations that unfolded in the city.
Demanding the police officials to arrest and put them behind the bars, whoever is responsible for it.
In the agitation that we had and roadblock in the Karur to Dindigul highway in the morning, the commissioner and the police people promised us that the people involved in this incident will be arrested.
Though the police officials have given assurance that they will take action in 24 hours, we cannot wait till that time.
இல்லை என்றால் நாளைக்கு தமிழகம் முழுவதும் இளைஞர் காங்கிரஸ் சார்பாக மிகப்பெரிய போராட்டமாக இது வெடிக்கும்.
And joining me on headlines now tonight is James Prakash, the president of the South Chennai constituency. He's also a member from the Tamil Nadu Youth Congress. Welcome to the studios. Joining me also is our political reporter Shabir Ahmed for more on how the situation has been at the ground levels really today. I want to start with you, Shabir. As we speak, is everything calm? What's really the situation at the ground level?
Well, right now things are really calm and peaceful, and in fact what we have been hearing from our sources is that police sources, they do tell us that they are on a lookout for the culprits who have desecrated the statue of Rajiv Gandhi. But within tonight there will be some kind of arrest. That is what we have been told by some of our sources. And also, you know, today the state witnessed widespread protest in various places in almost 23 districts. There were protests, and also various parts of the city. In Chennai alone, there were more than 6 to 7 protests, flash protests staged by youth congress members. Evelyn, things are, and also police do tell us that adequate security has been provided to other statues of Rajiv Gandhi across the state to avoid any kind of untoward incident further.
Right. Stay with us for the discussion that's up ahead. Mr. James, I want to ask you, you're shaken, but you're still smiling in the studio. What's the police told you when you took that complaint to them?
When this issue happened in the morning, and by 8 o'clock we all assembled, and say by after an hour or two, like the police officials, including the DC of T Nagar and the other higher command people, they assembled, and they were quite trying to console us by giving us a promise that they will take care of the issue. But this act was purely a disrespect to the former Prime Minister, and not only that, it is against a leader of a party which is 125 years old.
But as young members of the Congress Youth Party, people often expect that kind of a league to act more responsibly. Would you think a road rocker would really solve the situation in such a scenario?
Being a responsible citizens of this country and being the youngsters, still we maintain the decorum and we expressed our sentiments only through the democratic way. We don't want to hurt the public. That is the only reason why we withdrawn the particular agitation after the confirmation or the authority which they said yes, they will take actions.
But your group of people strongly suspect the hand of another political party, the VCK. Why is that? Is there evidence to really prove that?
See, we do have the suspicion, and we have also intimated to the police. Now it is in the hands of the police, whoever is responsible, whichever individual or a representative of any political party of the state. Right. We want a stern action against them.
All right. Let me just bring in our political reporter Shabir. Go ahead, Shabir. You have a question for Mr. James.
Well, James, when there was protest happening on the ground level, you were particularly targeting Tirumavalan. Why is that you are targeting Tirumavalan? Because in fact you have no evidence that his party was behind this incident.
Yes, Shabir. Let me clarify one issue. When we were doing our agitation, at no point of time we were mentioning any particular name. Number two, we are suspicious about various people, and this is one of the prominent because of the demographic structure and the dominance of that particular political party in that particular area. And we have given our suspicion to the police, and the police will definitely take its action against whoever is responsible.
Well, but because he is engaged in war of words with Karthik Chidambaram, is that the reason why you are targeting Tirumavalan, James?
Maybe, because why? Nothing. See, there won't be a fire without any basic grassroots level of certain things. We suspect this, but we are not confirmed. But definitely, we have demanded the police to identify whoever is responsible for it.
Particularly, the Congress party workers are angry because Tirumavalan said that the DMK should snap ties with the Congress. Is that something which has angered you against Tirumavalan?
Definitely, be it any party. Like we are a party representing almost for the 125 years in this country, and this act of disrespect to our leader and the former Prime Minister who was a visionary and who was the reason behind the great success of our giant called India, definitely will not accept, whoever it may be.
So particularly when you say that Tirumavalan is behind this incident, what kind of evidence you have, James?
We have given whatever evidence or whatever information we have received. I won't say it as evidence. Whatever information we have received, we have passed it on to the police, and police is acting based on that. and soon we are expecting a result before tonight.
Okay, if the police fails to, act or take any action, what will be your next course of action, James?
Exactly. Mr. Shabir, we would like to convey this issue very strongly, because though I am representing the South Chennai, but I am representing a very big youth democratic system of this country called Youth Congress. We have our party leaders. Now, in fact, our president and the vice president of Tamil Nadu Youth Congress are in the Padayatra. What information we have received from our high command and our leaders of the state is, we will wait till tonight. If situation is not now coming to a conclusion, or if the action is not taken, or if it is not identified, definitely we will react towards the situation, and there will be a very powerful agitation from tomorrow throughout the state.
When you say powerful, is it, do we have to gear up for a violent resort, perhaps?
Definitely violence will not give any solution. We will follow the democratic way, but still our reaction will be powerful, sending a strong message to whoever is responsible that Congress, especially Youth Congress, will not tolerate these kind of activities.
But today we saw protests, sir. Today we saw protests where your party workers were trying to self-immolate, and your party workers were trying to block traffic and causing public inconvenience. What do you have to say about that?
See, it is purely people who have done this. Definitely it is not because of their own action. It has hurted their sentimental values towards the party. That would have been the reason for those individuals to react in such a manner.
But blocking traffic and causing public inconvenience, is this a way to protest, sir? You belong to the Youth Congress, and this is the message you sent across to your other party colleagues.
See, initially we were doing our protest only in front of the statue, but no actions were taken almost more than an hour or two. So that is the reason we wanted to see, how do you think public will know that these kind of activities has taken place? Unless until we reach the people. Once we reach to the people, then only then the media receives us. And only when the media comes, the issue is highlighted towards the public. And even after that, we didn't continue that. We withdrawn the entire agitation once we got the confirmation from the police officials that actions will be taken against them.
But that was in case of Ashok Nagar, sir. When it came to Mount Road, in fact, traffic was blocked for more than 1 hour, and in Oteri, traffic was blocked for nearly 30 minutes, and in other parts of the state, the situation was pretty much the same. So it was public inconvenience, sir. So how do you respond to that? Because, I saw people walking and asking that whether buses will ply from this route or not. Because there was some kind of public inconvenience. So how do you think that you are responsible for all this?
See, it was, I first of all accept that yes, it has given some inconvenience to the public. The moment we came to know that this kind of things have happened, the entire road was blocked, we withdrawn the entire agitation from the middle of the road to the corner of the road, and we still continued the agitation. Because it is a group of sentimental values of the various youngsters who are representing the party. And when initially it was started and when people went into the middle of the road, obviously the traffic got blocked. But once we realized that it is also affecting the public, immediately we withdrawn from the middle of the road and we went to the corners, and we still continued the agitation, because we wanted to definitely make sure even the public is aware that what kind of uncivilized act can be done to our former Prime Minister of this country.
So your deadline is when? For some action to be taken?
Yes, the High Command has instructed us, and even the TNPCC leader has
High Command, you mean Mr. Rahul Gandhi?
The PYC, Pradesh Youth Congress, and even the IYC High Command, and also the Tamil Nadu Congress Committee. What they have given is like, on the basis of the assurance from the police, they have instructed us, okay, we will wait till tonight. If no steps or no arrest is taking place, then we will definitely show our reaction tomorrow statewide. Agitations will continue, especially now by the Youth Congress of the state.
All right. Thanks very much indeed for joining us this evening and really battling out this whole situation and giving us your reaction as well. Thanks very much, Shabir, for joining us as well with your inputs. Well, still ahead on the bulletin. A paddle, a breath of bubbles and a laugh a day keeps the doctor away. Meet Madrasa's mermaid who'll tell you more.